Alright, so Needle Cracker, Round Vulcan, and now we also have Cluster Bomb, which shoots behind you, so why would you ever?
That one fight where the enemy would go behind you.
Doesn't really
You've
damage
got
that
Round
much.
Vulcan for that.
I know.
Correct. So this stage is one of the ones where Round Vulcan really, really shines, because there's shit everywhere that can do really mean things to you constantly.
This must be the bio level.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
was
a
just
cave.
about to say that.
But yeah, more or less. I found out recently that the official term for bio level in Gradius is body horror.
Body horror?
Horror. Like
Right.
a horror movie.
Yeah.
That
So-
makes sense.
Yeah, no, it totally does.
Yeah,
Especially
usually we're the grossest shit.
Especially with Huge Heart in 5. Fuck that level. But, yeah. Also, I guess it's worth noting that I really like shoot-em-ups, especially like these, which, conversely, I hate twin-stick shooters, because Myth and I were actually just talking about it a little earlier when I was browsing the PS4 store. I personally feel like twin-stick shooters, thanks to Geometry Wars, have really watered down the genre, and it's kind of killing the standard ones, which sucks, because they can still be made really, really well, just nobody does, because twin sticks are easier, and you can make them infinite with, like, no effort, and fuck it. But, I really like shoot-em-ups. I'm really not that good at shoot-em-ups. Like, I can get through them. Like, I've beaten Gradius 3, I've beaten this, I've beaten R-Type Final a lot, because R-Type Final has a lot to unlock. But, like, compared to people that, like, really get good at these, like, I can't usually play past, like, normal difficulty on a shoot-em-up at any given time.
That's farther than I could get.
Yeah.
And even then, like, I burn through a lot of lives. And I mean, I know it's a comparative thing, but at the same time, like, when I say I like shoot-em-ups, somebody who really likes them will look at me as like, oh man, well, how many loops on Gradius can you do? It's like, I usually do one and then get bored. Also, this is the thing that's about to happen. Oh god! Okay. I'm really... No, loops.
I know, no,
do you know how loops work in Gradius?
Yeah, because Gradius just keeps looping.
Yeah, and every time it adds more difficulty.
Ugh.
So if you're on hard, loop 10, there are literally infinite streams of bullets coming out of certain enemies that if you don't kill them at the right time, you are going to die.
Right.
Loops are scary fucking things. Also, I'm pretty sure this is a branching path. I almost always go low. In harder difficulties, those little icicle things extend and contract over and over, which is a little distracting.
Great!
This is also where my practice run ended earlier, when my gamepad decided to die. And, fun fact for Wii U owners, that doesn't pause the game. So, I just kind of kept running into things while I looked for my power cable. I thought it was plugged in, but the other end of the power cable was unplugged, so...
You know, I guess I never noticed that playing through, like, PC games for me, because I usually do RPGs. So, like, if your
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, let me play
Oh
this
darn,
in.
I'm basically paused. Yeah! In this particular section, it doesn't work out so nicely. It was this part coming up exactly with this literally impenetrable wall of enemies that throw little babies at you. Wait, there it is.
Gross.
Yeah. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they've
Rocks.
always...
Yeah, they're rocks.
They look like little baby monsters.
The rocks.
I don't care. Alright, so,
If
do you
it was
remember...
any other shooter, I would say.
Do you remember the little grabby claw things from earlier? You might not have seen them because they come out really fast.
Kinda?
If you kill those, a swarm of 4 of these little leech things come out. I'm not steering down right now. It is weighing me down, and I
Oh.
can't kill it unless I bump it into something like I just did.
Wow.
So you have to scrape them off on the walls while also not running into the walls yourself. So that part's really fucking stressful, especially on hard where 2 of them spawn at a time, 3 of them spawn at a time, and you're shooting all the things, and the screen is scrolling, and you're getting weighed down, and it's more and more of them attached to you will make you heavier and heavier, and son of a bitch. Also, hi Frankenfish. Wait for it. Here he is. I'm a fish! So that thing cycles through your weapons, and it kind of freezes you a little bit, which later on in the fight gets really stressful, because it becomes very easy to lose weapons, and there's a very particular thing you want to cycle through on this to kind of, like, keep yourself stable with all the stuff going on. Also, if you're good, you can shoot in.
This thing kind of reminds me of Metroid Prime if you ripped all its legs off.
I can kind of see that, except it's not as cool. Now, for the most part, the first half of this is a pretty easy fight. Then he starts to go emergency mode on you, which I'm sure is coming up soon. I've hit him pretty good stuff. It'll be pretty obvious. There it is! Bullets everywhere! Also remembering, it's a fish. I don't think there's any, like, bioweapon lore. God, Jesus. Ugh! I don't usually...
It looks like it's got machine parts in it.
It probably does.
Kinda
I don't...
Geiger-esque.
I don't usually get through this without taking at least one weapon of damage. So... I'm gonna be quiet for a second.
Nice music.
Yeah!
Music's really low-key in this game.
I love this soundtrack. And it's all stuff that I want the Blue Man Group to cover because it's so percussion-heavy. Which I think is cool because not a lot of Super Nintendo games did that. Like, Super Nintendo has a regularly good... I like the music!